Breaking news if you've been living under a rock. Depopulation, Americans with drain water data centers. Word has it that they aren't data centers, they're J's, Ooish owned mass goy surveillance centers. And their end goal is Agenda 2050. What is that? Agenda 2050. They're draining the water. They're actually taking the water. Instead of recycling the water like an engine does, they're just taking new water out of the earth, draining lakes. Like Lake Mead hits 1,052. Vegas, 2.5 feet from tier 2 emergencies. A lot of these lakes are now, they're getting drained. Edwards aquifer collapses. 2.5 million Texans face zero water. 2.5 million Texans face zero water because they're literally taking the water away. They're taking the water away. And, as luck would have it, the most powerful El Nino in recorded history is taking shape over there in the Pacific Ocean. Wonder who's behind that. You know, right? You know. Let me scroll down here. The global total data centers consume approximately 20 to 66 billion gallons of water annually. Anywhere from 20 to 66 billion gallons of water annually. This is not recycling water. This is taking the water, literally. This range reflects recent growth in AI computing, which requires more intensive cooling. This is demonic, this is evil, but you already know that. You already know that. And, these are the same people that, it's for the greater good. Wear your muzzles. There's a virus out there, which there wasn't, but do this for the greater good. Let's consume less energy because it's warming the planet, right? Climate change, and that's a bunch of bullshit. In other words, they claim to be so health conscious, so down with protecting the environment, but these are the same bitches that are destroying the environment. They're the ones that are controlling the weather. They're the ones poisoning the water supply. They're the ones poisoning the food. It's a slow poison. It's a soft kill. They're the ones controlling the weather. As they say, the climate change is our fault and we should measure your carbon footprint. Well, you can only have so many, brewskis a year because, to produce that takes a lot of carbon. All this bullshit. Meanwhile, the ultimate of ultimates, these data centers are destructive. They're evil. They're extremely evil. And they're taking the water. Water is life. I mean, we cannot live without water. You do know that. You can go longer. What is it? You could go longer without eating than you can without drinking water. Do you know, lately, I guess as I got older, I drink a hell of a lot of purified water. But I used to be able to tolerate going thirsty for longer. Now I know it's like, I can't. I have to stay hydrated. I think it's because as I get older, but I'm very active. I just have to have it. All right, you can't. I couldn't imagine. I know what the beginning of thirst tastes like after a couple of hours of not having water. You're working out in the yard, you're sweating, and you get real thirsty or whatever. Or I've gone 12 hours of, they call it dry fasting, or 13 or whatever, and I haven't drank water in a long time. But I can't. I can go a lot longer without food than without water. But yet, that's the main thing that they're taking. They're taking our food. Don't kid yourself. They're trying to take our food. Did you know that lubricant oil for farm equipment? Well, there's a shortage now. There's a big shortage looming thanks to the Strait of Hormuz being closed. That's a story, and they're sticking to it. And so, if these farmers can't get this lubricant for their tractors and such, well, hell far, they can't farm. Yeah. Oil crisis orchestrated. Food crisis orchestrated, taking all our water. Does it feel like you're under attack? 'Cause it certainly looks like and feels like it from my angle. So data centers take upwards of 66 billion gallons of water annually. This range reflects recent growth of AI in computing, which requires more intensive cooling. Per terawatt hour, for every terawatt hour of electricity a data center generates, it typically uses 1 to 4 million gallons of water, depending on the cooling method. We should all collectively be saying, how dare you? How dare you spray us like bugs? How dare you want to feed us GMOs and lab-grown meat and eat Z-bugs and put us in 15 minutes, stack them in, pack them cities. How dare you want to put people in the line over there in Saudi Arabia? The line. Do you know what that is? Go look that one up. Go look it up. You want to put us in these confined areas, right? All in the name of protecting the environment. You want to zone us out of going into state parks because there was a phantom virus in 2020. Remember that? Couldn't go to the beach. You want to keep us out of corridors of Earth because these bitches are playing God and they want to claim all this for themselves and treat us like peasants, treat us like rats, treat us like the bugs that they want to feed us. And enough's enough. Enough is enough. They want to blame us for the climate change that they are causing, and then want to confine us and put carbon footprint bullshit and all this stuff. 15-minute pack 'em, stack 'em cities. They want to have a kill switch on your car by 2027. Have you do a breathalyzer in there, or if it reads your face and it thinks that you're pissed off or not fit to drive, then it won't start. Or it'll just shut off while you're driving down the interstate. Can you imagine that? Your car's shutting off because it reads your face and thinks that you're not fit to drive, whether it deems you too sad or too depressed or just too pissed or whatever. Can you imagine this? Meanwhile, they're going free willy-nilly on everything. These bastards that go to these Bilderberg meetings and all these other bullshit meetings, clandestine, I guess you could call meetings, annually to formulate more wicked plans against us. They say, you can't go flying. They're trying to discourage us from flying. I think that's why all the planes were falling apart with the DEI hires over the last few years under Beijing Biden. Because who would want to fly if doors are falling off, right? It's all done on purpose. All this shit. They don't want us to fly. They don't want us to drive. Remember, I said Massachusetts passed a bill limiting how many miles, or taxing, I believe it was, how many miles you drive. Are you JKing me? Taxing you by the mile. Are you fucking kidding me? The story went that in the Boston Tea Party, we threw over the English tea into the Boston Harbor because we felt like we weren't being represented. England, the Crown, back in the 1700s, had a laissez-faire approach, but yet they wanted to tax us. Tax the colonies, and the colonists said, hell far, you want to dictate things to us and tax us to death, but yet we're not being represented? Feck off. They did that for less. We're taxed out the wazoo. The United States, the West is taxed out the wazoo. I'm particularly focused on the United States, out the wazoo. Where are you being represented? Huh? They want to say, this is our fault, put the thumbs on you, put the thumbs and screws on you. But yet they want to go and destroy things, derail trains on purpose, burn down food factories, burn down oil refineries, spray the skies. You know the drill. Poison the water and then take the water, causing droughts where farmers can't farm. This is insanity. So when is enough, America? The fluoride must have worked because, back during the Boston Tea Party, they got pissed off for a lot less than what they're doing to us now. But I guess the population is so damn dumbed down and docile and distracted, and just a squirrel trying to get a nut and just trying to keep their head above water, done by design, that they don't have the energy or the will or even the knowledge that all this shit's going on. This is pure genius on their part, but also utter fucking insanity. All right, evaporative cooling or wet towers uses the most water. Evaporative cooling of these data centers, or wet cooling or wet towers, uses the most water. Air cooling or liquid immersion uses significantly less. Daily usage: a single large hyperscale data center. One hyperscale data center, like those run by Google, Microsoft, or Amazon, just one data center, can use 2 to 5 million gallons a day. Yet they want to say, well, we're going to limit your water consumption. We want you to limit your showers. We want you to turn the shower off and then scrub down a little bit, then turn it back on. We got the smart meters watching you, right? We got the smart meters on your water. We got the smart meters on your damn electricity. We're going to do brownouts. We're going to do rolling brownouts or rolling blackouts to conserve on energy, as these motherfuckers are using tremendous amounts of electricity on an already fragile grid, right? They keep saying the grid's fragile. Well, if the grid's fragile, fucking fix it. But they won't fix it. So they say that we're consuming. We are consuming. Oh, the high today. It's the hottest summer on record. It's 100 degrees. Well, yeah, that's pretty typical, assholes. But they want to say that the Earth's warming up and everyone's using so much more electricity. No, we're not. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If the Earth is going to be warming up, it's because they're controlling the weather, blocking out. Well, they're doing it. They're the ones causing the temperature changes, the big temperature swings, cooler in one region unnaturally, hotter in another region unnaturally. And then these data centers, don't kid yourself. You don't think these data centers are going to be warming up the climate? Of course they are. And they're using tremendous amounts of electricity. I thought we had a fragile grid. They claim in one breath that we have a fragile grid, but yet they want robots everywhere. That's going to be run on electricity. They want automated cars. They want electric cars. Us to be driving electric cars. Well, you have to charge your cars, do you not? Well, wouldn't that put a further strain on an already fragile grid? They talk out of both corners of their mouth because they want to keep you confused. Which way to go, George? You went that way. Don't be confused. These bitches are pieces of shit. They're liars, they're evil, and they're demons, is what we're dealing with. And this world needs an exorcism of all these fucking demons. I've been saying this for the longest time. Which way is it? You can't have it both ways, B system. You can't say you have a fragile grid and we need to conserve our electricity, but then you want New York City to shut their lights out by 11 o'clock on like decorative lights and certain lights that are unnecessary by 11 o'clock to conserve energy. You can't say you have a fragile grid in one breath and then the next breath want everything to be run by electricity, and then on top of that have these data centers going all over the place, consuming ungodly amounts of electricity, and then you have the balls to want to raise the citizens' electric bills to pay for your bullshit. No. This stuff needs to stop, but it won't stop till it stops. And on top of that, they're taking the water. And one person I saw in a video, I think it was in a Screwball Richie from Boston, but one of his subscribers has a point. The water on Earth has been around for billions of years, right, since the beginning of time. And if water has memory, that means everything that it has been exposed to, it has retained somehow, some way, supernaturally. And one theory is that the data centers are mining the water, using the water to get anything supernatural out of it, whatever it's seen over thousands of years or whatever. And then they're going to try to do some kind of recreation, playing God, some kind of psyop, some kind of something with it. I don't know. But the bottom line is, they're taking all the fucking water. They're draining the water, and they want us to pay for it. Aren't you done paying for high prices of gas, high prices? Aren't you done paying for everything just to be here on Earth from these bastards? I mean, so what is this agenda? We're going to take a look at these videos real quick. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. You should be too. Sick of all this bullshit. Oil crisis, lubricant oil crisis for farmers, machinery. Like food crisis. Oh yeah, you went to Mars, as if, but you can't solve how to produce enough food. Bullshit. All right, but let's take a look at this. I'm annoyed. This girl's kind of this girl's kind of, I don't know, in a weird way she's kind of hot. She keeps popping up all over the place. It's weird, but she's kind of goofy. Don't get offended, bitch. If I say this, she's kind of goofy, but yet she grows on you kind of hot.
I can't believe that people are still wondering what the end goal for these like elite parasites are, and it's called Agenda 2050. And basically in Agenda 2050, they want to corral all of us like sheep into cities. And if you notice that almost all the cities have ring roads around them, so that if you take those roads out or any access to those roads, everyone's stuck in that city. You want to know why? Because that's how you corral animals into like things. And then if you notice, it's almost like a corral where you put people into certain districts. Yeah, welcome to the Hunger Games. Now, if you're wondering how are we going to get there, well, they're going to tell you that certain things are contaminated with either, chemical leaks or attacks or whichever. And then because people won't be able to like afford to keep their lands because the governments are either going to increase taxes so much, change regulations, or what they're doing in Canada with UNDRIP is basically giving it back to the Aborigine, and then they're going to take it away from the Aborigine anyway because they did in the beginning. It's pretty much like a circle, right? But you just need to use one group to take away from another group so that you can take away from everybody else. It's your classic like communistic scam kind of like style, right? And so if they get people fearful enough on climate change and all of this other bullshit, most people will then kind of give up on their own. They'll be like, well, I don't really want to own a house, and I don't really want to own this, and I don't really want to use that. And that way they slowly start to corral all of us into like cities with either policy push things or made up like scenarios, and then they will have all of the land. Now here's the craziest part is if you actually look at Silicon and you look at like Silicon Valley, I mean, and you look at some of the technology that they have and all of the satellites, they have pretty much have everything under one roof. If you decide to run into the woods, they will be able to find you unless you're like really good at hiding, right? And so pretty much it's just going to be a giant open air prison where everything is digital and all of your moves are completely 100% recorded at all times, and so are your thoughts, and so is your heartbeat, and so is everything. And so if you remotely try and move out of the cyborg hive mind, you are going to pretty much get canceled, which is why they do cancel culture, so that it kind of gets us used to people just disappearing online, never being seen again, and so that people won't question it. Everything that is happening is pretty much grooming us into that direction. I hope I made sense.
And speaking of, she's right about that in the cancel culture, and also having me sign into accounts to trying to get, because pretty soon you're going to need it to prove who you are. You're going to need, it's going to be based on social credit score to sign into your YouTube, to sign into your Google accounts, even on my calendar on my phone. Never had to sign in, but then they wanted me to sign in with a password. Now they want me to have a password and my phone number. See what they're doing incrementally. YouTube, I have to sign in every couple of hours. That's not normal. That is not normal. I don't have to do it on the desktop yet, but on my tablet and my cell phones, I have to keep signing in. Keep signing in. They want to get us acclimated to signing in. And I do sign in, but there's going to be a cutoff point. Like on my Google Maps, I don't sign in. I mean, at Google Calendar, I don't sign in. But on Google Photos, the Photo Cloud, Google, they want you to sign in. Well, I did that for a time. Now they want me to sign in, and they want me to give my phone number, and I won't do that, so nothing's getting backed up to the cloud. So I'm trying to navigate around that, which takes more time and is more annoying. But they constantly want you to sign in, because they're getting us acclimated, like she said, getting us acclimated to this, that, and the other. Cancel culture in particular. And the same thing with the sign in, sign out, because pretty soon you're going to have to sign in like it ain't no thing, based on social credit score. That's what I think this is going. Because one minute they want my password, then they want my password and my phone number. I mean, something ain't right with that at all. And speaking of, she talked about explosions and stuff like that at plants. I saw something video title. It's a chemical plant in Washington. There's a big explosion of fire, and some people missing. So there's that. Now here's another video. It's just 52 seconds. Let's take a look.